There's only one. Oh, one. Wait. Oh, what is this?
I think that's the link for the meeting on Thursday with Emerson,
Oh, is
because
that always the same link?
that's always the link for when Emerson does a meeting
Oh,
with
okay.
Non-Duality Live. So that should
Oh,
work.
oh, thanks. I can put it on my website. Thank you. Yeah.
If you find out it's wrong, then obviously you could send out an email with the correct one.
Yeah.
But that's the one for all the other meetings he's done with the other
But
speakers. Yeah.
how can you send it to me in an email or something? Because or in a WhatsApp, because I don't know how to
Yeah, I'll
use
send it on
with the
WhatsApp to
chat.
you.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
send it on
Thanks.
WhatsApp.
Okay. There's only one. There's only one. And when there's someone, it's so obvious and so normal and so not even to speak about it. There's always two. There's always two. There's someone and there's the outside world. So we'll always have to deal with something, always try to live your life, try to deal with circumstances, try to deal with whatever happens. And because there's something missing when there's two, there seems to be something missing, but in some way you don't know what it is, but there's somewhere there's a longing for something else, for something that it seems like there's something not right. There's a huge longing for something else. And because everything is about this is not it. There's missing something. There's just not there's something wrong. It seems like the searching is the only thing you know is a search in the story, because everything seems real. So it seems like it's searching in circumstances or trying to work on yourself or earn money or get a job or relationship. There's always some searching in some way because there's some missing. There seems to be missing something. And because of that's always about me and something else. It's always about that. And that's so normal. It's not, most of the time, it's not even questioned. And also, the thing is, when there's someone, and it's about abstracting everything, but when there's a possibility to abstract what's going on, there seems to be meaning and purpose. So there is a purpose to have a road and a development towards a better world or a better person or more relaxation or freedom or anything. It always seems to be somewhere else. That's the normal thinking. That's the normal concept, that it's always about moving towards something that's better than what this is, because this is can't be it. There's still some suffering, there's still problems, there's still no feeling of freedom, there's still not feeling at one. Everybody has some different sentences. And there seems to be also meaning. When there's someone and we're living in the world of me and the dream of me, you could say, there's always meaning. So everything seems to have meaning. When there are circumstances, they seem to have meaning. It's because of there's time, and it seems like, oh, I did it, but it's because of that. And maybe when I do something differently, it will be different, and I can work on myself. I can do anything. And when there's someone, there's not only meaning, but there's also a very, very convincing free will. It seems that we are so convinced we have free will and we have a choice and we have the ability, most of the time through thoughts or trying to think about it and make decisions, and then we think that will happen. It's a dream. That's the most awful part of the message, you could say, for the me, because the me is always busy trying to do something or not do something. With the ability, we have a free will, we have choice, we can do something, And so we can reach something we want to reach, or maybe it's know me, or it's freedom, or it's being one. There's always also an image about what's going on. So we have an image, sometimes in certain perfect image about what it will be like then when there's no me anymore, or when there's liberation, or it's not only liberation, it's like, how do you call the other one? It's enlightenment. That sounds even more beautiful. And it seems like then everything is over. It will be heaven in some way. That's maybe the thinking of heaven too, that there seems to be certain behavior that's better than other behavior. And some people are more into it and other people are not that far. And like people like Rose, maybe there's an image about she is that far, or she reached it, or she had lost it, and there's always an image about what had happened and how it should be. But it's just what it is already. It's so simple, it's so ordinary. It has nothing to do with any words, with any understanding. There's nothing needed to do. There's no need for anything. It's just what's going on, what's happening. It's that simple. It's already like this. There's nothing to reach. It's already complete like it is. So there's no need to understand. There's no need for learning. There's no need to lose the me, or there's no need for anything. It's just this. It's already what's going on. And in some way, it's somewhere, it's too simple. It's too normal. There's not so much going on. So it's more easy to think about there's some hope that someday it will happen. Someday it will be different. So this message will not be very popular because most people are into the dream of wanting to happen and wanting to go to that road for more perfection and more relaxation, and that's not wrong. That's what's happening. It doesn't matter. There are no people. It seems like in the dream there are all different people like doing some things and they have their own development. It's just energy. When there's a body, it seems to be there's a body, and the end of what you see is the end of the body. It's just energy. There's no borders. There are no borders. So it's just energy. There's only an apparent body. So everything is apparent. It's an appearance. It's just an appearance, and at the same time, it's not there. And it's not that you need to see that or something like that, because that can be another goal. It doesn't matter. When that's not seen, then that's not seen. So what? Then there's something else. That's it. It's not about seeing everything that Rose is saying or somebody else is saying. It doesn't matter what is said. It doesn't matter if it's heard. That what's happening is already it. That's it. It's a very simple message, very normal life. Nothing special about it. And still, it's huge when there's nothing going on about trying to change it. That can be huge. So it seems sometimes like a paradox, like talking in the world of me and saying something about what's going on there. And at the same time, nothing is happening. It's only an appearance. It's not that nothing is happening, it's an apparent happening. So nothing is important, nothing has any meaning. Doesn't matter what's happening. When there's pain, there's pain. That's it. And it's not saying, oh, there's pain. It is what it is. No. When there's pain, it's like, or something like It can be any reaction on pain. But there's no escape. There's just no escape. There's a loss of everything. There's no life of Rose. There's just life. So we can talk about it. Maybe there are questions, or maybe you want to share. You can talk about anything. So we'll see what's going on.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So this feels like a very cold shower.
Ah, okay.
Which is okay. It's, you know, it's just there's no hope.
Yeah.
Everything is an appearance.
Yeah.
But I thought of something that sometimes happens. Sometimes as I get older, I get a bit more forgetful, and I forget where I put things. And I sometimes during these times, it doesn't happen a lot, but maybe a bit more than it used to. And so if I lose the keys to my house, and it's important that I find it. And so I look everywhere, and I look where all the obvious places, and then the less obvious places, and it takes a long time, and I'm getting a bit worked up about it. And then at some point, I've noticed suddenly in the middle of that, I think maybe the keys have disappeared. There are no keys. It's just that you know, this is like there's just an appearance, and that anything can happen. And maybe I should. It's time to stop looking for the keys, because there was never any keys, or that the keys just actually disappeared. But then afterwards I carry on again, and then I do find the keys. So what I'm saying is, it's like things, even though it's an appearance, things kind of make sense. Those keys did exist. They were found, and it appeared that the keys, when I couldn't find them, were in another place. And
they're just not there. They're just not there.
Yes, I hear that.
Yeah.
But if I thought there was something which made me not give up, because I really believed that they were somewhere, and so I carried on looking. And so things made, even though it's an appearance, it makes sense to think that there is a real world, and there's the real keys, and that the world makes some kind of sense. You know, like when you watch a film and an actor is going through something dramatic, and then he goes off screen, and then you imagine that he's off screen somewhere going through some drama, and then what do you know, he does come back in, and he looks the same, even though that's much more obvious that there's no, he did disappear. He did disappear when he wasn't on screen. It made sense. You know, there was some sense to it. It wasn't chaos. You know, it wasn't like anything could happen. It sort of you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that we are so convinced that everything is real. So when you don't see it, it's still there.
Yeah.
Something like that. And this is everything. So there's nothing behind. That's what we can abstract. That's what what we do. Did abstract that there's a street behind this room, or another room, or keys, or anything. It's not. That doesn't mean that when you lose your key, when I have no key, I'm like, oh, where's my key? That doesn't happen anymore. It can happen also, of course, looking for the keys, or forgetting your shirt, or just normal things. But it's fun. Yeah, it's funny that sometimes it's really obvious, like, oh, there are no keys. It's just, oh, and then it goes on. Yeah, of course. What is not, it seems also that when there's Rose and there's my husband or children, they're not, it's, you think, oh, they're not there, they're in their homes. No, they aren't. They don't exist. There's nothing existing outside of this room. There's just this. It's not, and it's not real. It's just an appearance, and this is everything. This is everything. There's nothing outside. That's what we would do. That's so many concepts about abstracting what we are convinced it's always there.
But you might, if it was your daughter's birthday and she wasn't in the room, you might write out a birthday card, because sure. yeah, even though at the same time,
yeah,
there's no daughter.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Everything goes on, and at the same time, there's no daughter. That's so. Yeah, that's, you can't understand that. And but it's very easy because it doesn't matter so much. But in the same time, it's completely different because there's nothing going on about when she's not there or he's not, my son is not there, that there's someone and you have to take care of, you have to, oh, what's going on? It's just suddenly that comes, and then there's maybe writing of, but it's always like that.
Yeah.
But we think we have to maintain the contact, or we have to do something about this. Because we're so convinced we have to take care, or you have to, a lot of concepts about relationships. There are no relationships, of course. It just appears, maybe a writing, or maybe telephone, or maybe something else can. And it's just talk, you hear a voice and you think, and you have a whole image, and you, well, why not? It doesn't matter. And that's it. And then it's gone, and then nothing is going on. It's forgotten. You think, I always thought it's forgotten, but it's not forgotten. It's just not there. We are thinking it's forgotten because you think it's still there and you forget it. No, it's not forgetting. It's just not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Part of the reason that I brought this up is that you said something, I think it was the last time, about an experience you had some time ago, where your body, you looked down and there was no body. But at the same time as there was no body, there was the world. And that seemed to, whereas, the story about the keys, that kind of, it makes sense. This made no sense, because why didn't the world disappear as well as your body? I mean, your body was like transparent, or
no, it wasn't there.
That's like against. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It whereas losing the keys and finding the keys, that makes sense. Some, just ordinary making. And a birthday card to your daughter, even though she's daughter.
Yeah.
But this is there's no sense to it that you would. I've heard stories of people's special moments where they say their sense of self dropped away, and that kind of that makes sense. Or else, even people saying, I know someone who had an accident, and they were on a motorbike and they went through the windscreen of a car, and as they did that, they were looking at their body from height. They had an operation and they were looking down at their body that's like odd experience. It's not, but the rest of the time when you talk about just ordinary life, but from a different, with a different, a big difference to it. This, what suddenly you saying that suddenly, hey, it's like that anything could happen. Like, why couldn't you have looked down and seen that you had okay, you looked down and saw there was no body, but maybe with the same kind of sense, maybe only one of your legs was missing, or maybe your body was there, but the world wasn't there, or maybe
Yeah.
your husband
Yeah.
was out the room and then he came in and he was an elephant. It was like anything, anything. Suddenly, there's no rules.
Yeah.
It's not like watching a film where the actor goes off and disappears, and he comes back on. You know, there's some sort of sense to it. This was like there was no. It's like a confirmation that absolutely anything could happen. I might, you know, it's.
No, but it's also, there was such a huge belief that the body is always there. There was no doubt about that the body was always there. That was just normal. And then suddenly it wasn't. So there was a huge shock. But now it's still happening like that. But it's no big deal anymore. It's just not, the body isn't there. But so, or it's transparent, or I don't, doesn't matter. It's
so
just seen like that.
So even now, you can your body may disappear altogether.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
and
sure.
the room still there. Is it?
But it does everywhere. But we're so convinced that it's not like that. Then it's not. It's a lot of times the body isn't there, of course. But because you're convinced it's still there. You look at some other place and there's nobody, of course. So, but it doesn't matter. We have so many concepts about how life is and how your body is much more closer than something outside than the key or something. For me, it was everything I could imagine, because I knew already a little bit. But a body that was like, oh, that's me. The body is me. Oh my God, what was that?
Yeah, I understand the shock is that it isn't substantial, the body. It isn't solid. It's just an appearance.
Yeah.
But then it's an appearance like every other appearance, like the carpet.
Yeah, sure.
But the carpet,
but the world was also an appearance. But it's seen. What I remember about that is that the world was, you could say transparent, but in a sense, something like that. But it was still there. I saw flowers and trees.
Yeah.
I don't know. No. It's like that. Yeah.
So do other things disappear? Like a chair may disappear, or my keys disappear.
But it doesn't. It's more like there was. But it doesn't matter so much. It's sometimes there's something going on, and then suddenly it's like, oh, and that can be for everybody different, and sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to happen like that. There were some moments I can remember that suddenly all concepts about solidity, it was like I was walking through the floors. It was such a freedom then at that moment, but it was so scared. It became so much, I was so scared. I didn't want that. So, and then after a while it was gone. But so it can be like that, and it can be completely nothing happening like that in that at all. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you need that kind of it's not an experience, but that moment needs that moment. It's just a story about what can happen, and some people talk about that. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's not happening at all like that. Then that's it. Why should it?
Okay. I'm saying okay, but I feel uneasy that a part of your world suddenly can disappear. I heard you talk about deep sleep and there being no body there when you're asleep, and that's not too difficult. But a part of the world, like you know, right now my car is outside my house, and I hope I'll find it again when I go out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also a feeling of safety when you know everything is real, and then but when everything is real, then it's not completely safe because you have to take care of, oh, is the car still there, and oh, I hope not. And there's an attachment to a lot of things. So because it's important that you feel safe in that world, because everything is real. When nothing is real, or it's only an appearance, that's not there. It's not that I feel safe. It's just not safe and not unsafe. It's both. It's nothing going on about it.
So if something disappears,
Yeah.
it's no big deal to you that it's still.
But it's when this car is gone, it's not there anymore. You can be, oh, hallelujah, there can be swearing or things like that. Well, it's not. It's that's there, and in the same time, it's not that serious anymore. In a way, it's both. It's
I think that someone that it disappeared because of something, like somebody stole the car or something. You know?
Yeah. That's in the story, of course. You think like that. But yeah, it's when nothing is real. That's the freedom. There are no chains in that sense of that. There's an attachment to things. That can't be there. That's strange. We're not used to that, but it's very normal. It's not.
Yeah,
not a
but it appears that there's sort of some basic rules that, you know, that even though it's an appearance, they're reliable. My car will probably be still there when I go out, and it's likely that I find my keys.
That's what we're trying. We want to know. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But we don't know. You don't know.
Okay. Even now I'm saying okay, and I don't feel easy about it.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay too, but no.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Yeah, I know this is an apparent life. Everything is apparently, and it's everything and nothing. I know. But I'm looking for a apparent job. And I also know it's not important what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. But for me, it feels easier when I have a little bit more money. And it still looks like one job fits better than another job.
But when you're saying that about appearances, and I know that and all, that knowing is just a little thing. It's just not really there. It's just that you know it's like that, and it's nothing is important. But that's just a way of saying things. It's nothing. When there's looking for a job and like, then that's there. It's because then you look at yourself and say, oh, I'm looking for that job, and I have a preference, and maybe I could. Oh, but it doesn't matter. That's okay. You say that. That's like looking from outside, and you're saying to yourself, oh, you don't have to bother about it because nothing is important. That's not what I'm talking about. That's just saying something to yourself to make yourself a little bit more comfortable or something like that. When there's looking for a job and you don't find it, it can be like, you're going everywhere. Then that's what's happening. Oh, I'm shouting, I think. It's just like that. It can be anything.
Yeah.
It's just what's Anita is doing. It's just that. It's just exactly that. And that other thing is just, yeah,
I hear
concepts
it.
about what you
Yeah,
heard.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear it. Yes, yes. It makes me sad.
Mm. It's just that. It's perfect. It's just complete how you do it. It's just that. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. And then there's crying, and then there's something else. And crying is not more or less important than anything else than drinking coffee or sitting on your chair. It's just like that. It's
Yeah, yeah. And there is someone in my how do you say that? Mijn omgeving.
your surrounding, your
In the
surroundings.
surrounding.
Yeah.
Yes, he's saying you can continue with non-duality and this sad, yes, the sadness will stay.
You don't know. How
Yeah,
does he know?
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I also have that question. Yeah. He's working as a kind of counselor.
But I don't know. But when there's sadness, then there's sadness, and that can change, or that doesn't change. It can be there for a longer time, or it can be walking to the toilet. It's all the same thing. It's just energy in a different form. We think this is more important, or this is where or this is about me. It's not even that. It's not. Sadness is not your sadness. It's just some energy in some way, and thoughts can be there, but it's not from anyone. It's just there, like books or sadness or the floor. It's just energy going, and it's nothing is more important than anything else, or less important, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Sometimes I'm thinking maybe I'm sad because I'm just.
You're listening to Non-Duality. That's why you are sad. No, I don't. It's a joke. No, there's no because. There's no time. Time is just something of human. We have time. There's no time. There's no before. There's no after. So we're always into relations. Like before that was that, you did that, and now you're doing that, and because of that, you're sad or you're I don't know what. There's no relation. It's just this, and there's only this. There's no past. There's no past. There can be memories, but there are no consequences. There are no consequences. Hooray! That's huge. Oh my God, we are so into consequences. Well, you do this, yeah, watch out because you did that. Oh my God. It's always like that. It's like the church. My God. It's just that. And that's life doing. It's just life. It's not you doing that. That's just life in that energy. It's just empty. Everything's empty. So it's just happening like that. And then something else is happening. There's no purpose. There's nothing going on like, oh, I'm moving towards something. That's only the abstract. We can so abstract everything and give it meaning or something. Yeah, it's much more simple. So, and what's also about, we are so sometimes so into that, oh, what it happened, there's someone, and what's happening with me, and I'm doing it right, and oh, I feel like this, and is it happening because of that? But it's always about me, and I am so important. It's when I noticed it before everything that I was always busy with me the whole day. All thought, everything was going on about me thinking, me feeling, me finding something, me working on myself, me always me all day. And there was so much put energy in it. And I thought, oh, now it's going better. And then, oh, it was something else. And it was all, oh, and there's nothing, it's just life. It's just empty. And you don't have to know it's empty like this, but somewhere there can be some resonance about there. It's not me doing it, it's just happening. It's just happening like that. Oh, and it doesn't matter if it's this or it's that or it's something else. Oh, that's amazing. It's not about Rose anymore. God, thanks God. It's not about Rose anymore. It's just there's just somebody's going to the shop and doing it, but it's not important. No, of course not. Wow. It's very simple, easy, not so much to talk about, but so what?
Yeah, that must be a release.
It's a relief, but it's not the whole day, maybe in the beginning, but no, it's very normal. When that, it's just so normal. Nothing special about it or something. And somewhere everybody knows. Of course. When this is here, what's happening also like, oh, how could I not see it? It's so obvious. It's so simple, but wow, we're so into all those stories, and yeah, that me is such a strong energy. But when it's there, then it's there. So, but it's not less than or less good than when there is something like there's no me. That doesn't matter. But for me in the story, it seems like, oh, I want to have no me anymore or something like that. But at the same time, oh, I don't want, it's losing everything. It's just nothing is left. Nothing is left. Even no Rose. Well, so what? Yeah.
Rose,
Hey.
hi. I was a little while ago listening to, maybe that was your last video on your site, and I heard you say that once you experienced having no body, like there was no body, so I was wondering, was there just the environment without the body?
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, but we talked about with Dave, but there was no. The environment was still seen, but it wasn't that solid.
No.
But yeah, it was still seen. But yeah.
So there was just a scene, let's say, or let's say there was just somewhat of an environment, nothing else.
Yeah, without Rose. Yeah.
Without Rose. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Or without a body, you could say that without a body. Or,
Right.
yeah.
And another thing was, you said that suddenly you were in a train station and you were like walking through, like it was like you were walking through the floor or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
maybe those are like, let's say, what you call nature or the energy or whatever is causing this experience. Um, like, yeah, making something clear, like you're not really this body, if you're anything at all, your awareness and the content of awareness. Um, and if there is a
I'm
cause,
not awareness. We're not awareness.
well, no, okay, okay.
No.
To me, okay, I never found awareness. That you're right. It's interesting. If people say, well, there is awareness and the content of it, but I've only experienced, if I can speak about, the normal way, is content. Like the experiences, that is there, constantly changing experience. But if you say, okay, now where is the awareness? No idea. To
No.
me, that is just a name for something that I know that I've never experienced. The experiences, yeah, the constant experience, memories and thoughts and all that stuff, feelings. Awareness as a separate thing, or no, I don't know what that is. Do you? No, you know.
No, but there's something going on. When there's someone, then you can look at yourself. You are aware of yourself. You see yourself, and you can think about what did I do, and oh, I did that, and then that's something that has to do with awareness. And when that me thing is not there, then that kind of thoughts do not happen anymore. It's not about looking at yourself, because that's lost.
Yeah, right.
So,
Right. So,
but these are words. It doesn't matter, because it feels always complicated to talk about awareness. Like, oh my God, awareness. Doesn't matter.
but I just wanted to say that I've heard always, you hear very often your awareness. I think that is a reference to maybe to the cause of all this, but I myself, I've never found awareness. I've experienced, experience, but not awareness. I've never found that. So, but I still think those experiences you talk about are very important pointers, like pointing, like if you are anything at all, it is not the body, it is not even the environment, because you can just walk through it like you can walk through the floor, which normally, how could you do that? So it's like a dream in which anything can happen, sort of.
Now, for me, it was more like there was suddenly something not there, and then it was very obvious. Then, oh, it's just like this, and that doesn't mean that I don't walk on the floor, but the floor is not solid. Right. But for us, when the floor seems not solid, it seems like not safe anymore. So, but it wasn't like that. So that's strange, because we're not used to that. So that shocks some concepts.
Right.
And then there were some concepts not there anymore, because it was not that sure that everything was solid. It was a long time before everything happened, but that solidness. But I forgot too, because I didn't want to have that. So it was too much at that time. But now it can be there, but so what? Or not? It's not all the time that I'm walking on the floor and I think, oh, I'm seeing that I'm walking through. No, sometimes it can be there or not. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, William.
I've got a question. So I'm sitting in this meeting and questions aren't coming up. I mean, obviously one has just now. But the whole way through, when I'm listening to other people talking with you, I'm thinking I need to ask something or I won't. Like, it seems to me like a formula. Like, if I ask a question, I listen to the response to that question, and it kind of helps to dissolve the sense of me.
That's a dream. That's the hope. So we have found something we can do that maybe when that I do that, then there's something happening what I want. Well, it's not like that. You don't know. You don't know. Life is the boss. Something like that. We are not. It's just like, I don't know what's happening. And the funny thing is, there is already no me. So there's nothing needing to happen, but it's so strong. It's sudden, it's so straight. You can hear it, and after a split second, it's already gone. I know. I was like, I had the same thing with tone. I heard it, and it was immediately. It was gone again. It was gone. When I was at home, I couldn't hear it. No. And sometimes it just came in, and then just was all those other concepts, or that searching was still going on very strongly. Till, yeah. And I thought I had some clues, but that's the dream. That's the hope.
When you say there's already no me, the thing is, when there's been glimpses of this, there wasn't any recognition that anything had actually changed. So certain things were, there wasn't a like when yeah. I can only say when I had glimpses, but of course I wasn't there having the glimpse. When there were glimpses happening, there wasn't any recognition that anything had actually changed. There was a revelation. There was like certain things were revealed, like this is it. It was kind of revealed, but there wasn't a sense that something had actually changed. But then when the me comes back after the glimpse, it goes, that was totally different. That was incredible. Look how free that was. That was amazing. Like, so it does seem to me like there is when you say there's already no me, it seems like there's a real difference.
Yeah, but the difference is only there when you think it has to be the same feeling, the same things like that when that sun moment was. It's just always different. It's no state of something. Can be suddenly feel free, or suddenly something else. It can be very obvious, but next time it's just different. So it's always different. So there's no clue about how it will be. You think, oh, it will be like that. No, that's just 1 second. There was nothing going on about trying to change anything. And then, but it's still what's happening. It's still what's happening. So how do you say that? It's just this. So it can't be something else, but there's always comparing. When in the story, there's always compare, because there's two. And suddenly there's just one, and then, how could I do that? Huh? And then suddenly there's a story again, and then you can't compare. It's just two different worlds. It's just, don't try. It doesn't matter, but it's not about trying or doing.
The other thing is as well, like when I'm like listening and you'll speak to other people, it's really nice and it's interesting to listen to it, and there might be resonance happening, I don't know, but the resonance feels a lot stronger when I'm speaking to you. But then that might just be how it is here. For somebody else it might be the same resonance whether they're listening or speaking, but I suppose the hope is the resonance will lead somewhere. Like if I feel enough of this resonance and I can feel the openness and the boundlessness as Rose is talking, the energies, like, you know.
The mind is so clever. The me and the mind, it's so clever. It will always find something to do, or something to like, oh, maybe it's like this. And when I'm talking to Rose, there's much more resonance. There's so many stories. It's just a story. But we want that. We want to have something developing or getting more close or something like that.
It feels to me like it feels to me like watering flowers. Like the more resonance when I'm talking to you or Tony or whoever, soon the me's going to drop because the boundlessness will just get so overwhelming. The me won't be able to survive it. But
that's the story in the dream. It's always the story like that. That when I do this or not do this, then it will happen or it will be better, or it's always like that. That's the only. But the awful thing is the me can only think like that. So that's the frustration. Like you can only see it like that, and then suddenly there's a moment there's something else. But when the me comes back, it's like, what was that? Oh, that was, and then the whole thing starts again because it can't think differently. That's how it, that's the frustration. Yeah. That's normal thinking, like there's something, there. When there's two, there's always one goal or one thing. Yeah, there's something going on, of course. You can't do that. You can't not do that. That's the frustration, because you want to do differently, but that's already the same thing. Yeah.
it is constantly like thinking, what should I be doing? And that's always what should I be doing now in order to get to where I need to get in the future.
Yeah. And it's just this. It's like it can be frustration, but the frustration without words, it's just like that. That can be there, but that's it. But it's so quickly in the story. It's so quickly, like it's not even noticed. It's just that. Yeah. And when it's like, that's it.
So really, it's not easy to distinguish between me and no me.
Distinguish.
To clearly cut out, like, this is me, this is no me.
But it can be very clear that there's someone, and someone, it's very strongly that it's just there. It's just an apparent, it's just not, it's, how can you say, it's very strong that there's someone talking about things and there's still that hang up, like, there's something wrong, I have to do something. That we call it me, of course, but it's not real. But okay, we call it just to it's just talking like that. You can't say, oh, me, but it's not real the whole time when we're talking. We just talk about that's me. It's very obvious when there's me talking. Yeah, and when there's no me talking, there's something else. Yeah, can be clear. You had some, there was some, Jim. There was something else. Can life be overwhelming for Rose? Emotions, events, family issues. No, it's not overwhelming. There can be emotions. There can be sadness or irritation or anger or anything. It's not overwhelming. It's just what's happening, and there's nothing going on about it. There's not trying to change it, or sometimes I don't even know what the feeling is. It's just some feelings there for a while. There's nothing going on about what is it or what can I do about it. It's not that I know I don't have to do that. It's just not coming. I don't know. It's lost. Something like that. Yeah. So no, it's never overwhelming. I'm a lot of time when people say it's so overwhelming, I cannot take it. You don't have to take it. But we are so used to pick it up and do something with it. And what can I do? Oh, this is so much. How can I take that? It's just that emotion. That's it. But it's so, that whole thing about that we are so used to do something with it, especially with emotions or pain or things like that. That makes it even stronger, or the feeling like it's overwhelming or so. It can be very strong, but not for a long time. Most things are not lasting very long. They just come and go. But it's not only here, it's always like that. So we think when there's something happening, we have to take it and think about it, and how can we deal with that, and how can we rid of things, because we're so convinced we are the caretaker. We have to take care of everything. We are the most important of everything. We're not important at all. It's just coming and going by itself. Nobody's doing that. That's amazing. How easy is that? Wow.
Rose,
Yeah.
and I don't know what's, well, to speak normal human language, not to try to make it difficult, to avoid the me and the I and all that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, in your experience, you notice, because that is what, you know, this experience here is that, okay, there's either distraction, for example, if I'm like this conversation, or I can watch a video, or, you know, whatever, right? That is
Yeah.
there. And then if there's a change, like there is just, let's say the body is just sitting, right?
Yeah.
There's the feeling or the idea comes up, okay, I'm just going to sit here now and
Yeah.
let everything that wants come up. I'm not going to try to distract myself. If thoughts, memories, even if they're painful, shameful, whatever it is, let it all come up, let it all come up. Then that happens. So it's like a difference between distracting yourself from that and not to feel it, or to say, okay, well, let it come up then. If that's there, let it come up.
Yeah, but that's what me does. That's trying to do that, or it's distracting and things like, oh, that's not good. It's just like let's sit and trying to feel whatever comes. But it's still thinking I'm capable of taking a decision in some way. Like I'm feeling now everything. When there suddenly is coming something, I don't know, then there's those patterns in the body, or it's going, and then suddenly that pattern is just going, and then there's distraction, or there's watching to outside, or there's standing up, some without noticing sometimes. Life is stronger than any decision. It's not our decision. We think we make our decisions, that you can say, oh, I'm not escaping from anything what's going on. Maybe that's there for a while, and then it's changing, or there's happening something else.
Right.
It's just a method, and can be there, but
right. Well,
something else.
Even if there would be, okay, let's say, so the experience is that there seems to be a self or an I, that's the experience, right? Okay, now I'm going to sit, and now I'm going to let it all happen, right? And then later that disappears, and there is all the distractions again and all that stuff. And what you're saying is, well, it might seem that you make the decision, but it's just happening. Okay, that's fine too. You can say that also, because that's the ultimate experience, right? There is the experience, okay, now there's a thought, I is this body going to fit, that's the experience, right? But it doesn't mean that there is a personal I really doing that, but that's just the experience, right? And then it might be again, okay, I'm going to distract myself now because I can't stand it anymore. Something like that.
Yeah, but there's no distraction also. There's just what's happening. That's something else. Distraction sounds a bit like, I don't know, something with a meaning. But there's no distraction. When maybe you're sitting there watching this video, and there are some thoughts coming, or suddenly you hear somebody on the street and you're looking like that, or I don't know, something. Then that's what's happening. So what? That doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
No.
So there's no.
Yeah, maybe I didn't say it clear, or maybe I didn't understand it clear. I meant distraction by not fully feeling what is being felt, because it feels so unpleasant. So then I think, let me watch a video, or let me go do something else, not to feel it. That's the experience, right? And then that happens. And then, yeah, then everything seems to me more or less okay, right? But as soon as there is the experience of just sitting and say, okay, let it all come, right? Even if there's no I deciding that, but the experience is there, yeah, then it's hell. then it can be really bad. And maybe
Yeah,
it's
but
something
so
that,
what?
yeah, no,
So
that's
what? Then it's hell. Then
right,
it's hell.
right,
Can be
exactly,
there.
exactly. Okay, fine. That's all I wanted to
So
say.
you think that you think you can do something to make you feel better, but you can't. That's what we're trying all the time. And then
Right,
sometimes we're trying something and it feels like, oh, this is okay, and we think
right,
we do that again.
right.
Well, maybe it's different, and it's hell, and it's a lot of, well, I don't know, emotions but the funny thing is, what's going on here? It's never hell. It's also not heaven. It's just what it is. So it can be a lot of pain or a lot of feelings. I can't even say, but it can be for some time. It can be go on like that, and then suddenly it's gone. I don't know how, or it's different, but it's not hallelujah or no. It's every time it's different.
Yeah, sure, sure. No, but I noticed a big difference between, for example, watching a video like a movie, and then it feels okay, right? But
Mm,
but as soon as there is a change, and then there is just, you know, like say sitting, right? Then
mm,
suddenly, oh my God, now all this
mm,
shit comes up again. And that's okay
ah,
too. Then, so if
mm,
that happens, and then maybe the experience is
mm,
okay, well, let this happen then. And that's what's happening then. I'm just
yeah.
talking about pure experiences now, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
that's all.
Yeah,
All right.
can happen.
Yeah. All right.
Mm,
Thank you.
thank-
Hi, Rose.
Hey,
Hi.
hey.
I was saying before that I'd watched, the last time you spoke for your previous meeting, and you talked about your experience, and I couldn't make it. Didn't I couldn't. It didn't make sense to me, some part of it, and I was trying to work it out and trying to, so I asked you a question, but it occurred to me. So it was, and even your answer, the way you responded just before, it didn't satisfy me. And then it occurred to me that I'm talking about an event that happened a while ago, and I was struggling with it, and then bringing it up with you. But actually, as there's just what's happening, this event, it didn't happen. I mean, if there's just this,
Yeah.
so struggling with something that didn't happen is just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter if I understand it or not.
Yeah.
And in the moment, maybe I'm wrestling with you, maybe trying to get, and that's just wrestling. It's about we're referring to something that happened a while ago, but there's no while ago.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to struggle with, and it doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
could have said anything about previously.
Yeah.
There's just this, and it's unnecessary to struggle. There's nothing to. It didn't matter whether I understand or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's always like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying this as a you know, rationalizing it or whatever. It still seems the case that there's only this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's nothing much to
How
say.
to speak about that, huh? How to
Yeah.
speak
Yeah.
about that? Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm at
Yeah.
a loss for words. If I still had this,
Yeah.
there's still a little doubts floating around, but it seems to be, or maybe I'm imagining these doubts. I don't know. I don't want to.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
matter.
No.
Yeah.
That's to take it that seriously. This thing that there's just this.
Yeah. 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 Suddenly it can be like, oh, and then
Yeah.
there's a lot of words. Well, how can you say it? Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
That's it. Mm.
I mean, that's. I was good. It's like I want to say it's crazy, but it's not even crazy. If it's just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Mm.
I'll probably argue with myself about this, but it still seems.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know. Maybe. Maybe
No.
not.
No.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I was genuinely struggling with what you said, and then suddenly, and talking about something that supposedly happened 2 weeks ago, and or whatever. But yeah, okay. Maybe I'm trying to say words when there's no words to say.
Yeah. It's too like, oh, how can it be? Yeah, sure. Doesn't matter. It's okay. Yeah, sure. Mm.
So if I can't talk about this,
Mm.
like to be truly honest,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't speak about this in a long time.
No.
I didn't know what to say. How no, like that. I had it for years. Yeah. Can happen. So no, not to say that it will happen for you, but it can happen. How can you say this? And then suddenly it's just more obvious and more embodied, you could say, in some way. So there's something. It becomes easier. That's what it's my story. Yeah.
So.
But you can't say it. This is. You can't describe how it is. You can't say how it is. I don't know. I can't. Of course, no.
Okay, I'm going to be. I have nothing to say for forever.
I keep promising. No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I really don't have a choice.
No, there's no choice. No.
Not even I can choose if I stay on the couch or I go for shopping.
It seems like that you're choosing it. That's how it seems, and it seems very convincing, but it's just standing up or going shopping, and it seems that there's a decision. There can be a decision, and they're suddenly doing something else also.
Yeah.
I do have that.
It's just where the energy goes.
No, you don't have to do anything. There's no energy to let go. No, it's already going. So nothing to do, nothing needed to do. It's that what is happening is it. It's complete. It's perfect. Can be not nice, but it's perfect. It's just what it, yeah, perfect. It's just what it is. How can it not be just what it is?
And there is sadness.
Mm. There's another question. Does it even matter if there's confusion about how to choose something that will work? There can be confusion, and you think, oh, what do I have to do? Oh, I have so many information and I still don't know, and then that's it. There can be confusion, yeah. And then there's something happening. Maybe there's taking pills or not taking pills. I don't know. But so what? We're always thinking we have to take care of our body. We have to take care of our life. It's just happening, and there's no one doing it. So you don't know if it's going all right. But that's the fear. We want to have control. So we have a fear that it's maybe not going all right. But this is free fall. You don't know. It's always like that, of course. When you go outside, you don't know if there will be an accident or anything. We think we have to take care. We have to have control to minimize the risk. Yeah. And we think we are doing that. No. You don't know.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
So in the story, you used to feel like a person and now you don't feel like a person anymore. And obviously, before the apparent falling away, you were going to meetings with Tony. Would you say that those meetings led to the disappearance of the illusion of there being a Rose?
Yeah, that's it. No, that's a joke. No! You want to hear some reason. Oh God, no, it didn't happen. There was no going to Tony. There's just this. There's only this. Who's Tony?
Because the thing is, when I come to the meetings, and I know there's no choice of coming to the meetings or not coming to the meetings, it's enjoyable. There's a resonance, and it seems like certain things are dropping away around that sense of the me. Not obviously the me, but there's certain things around that are falling away.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've said before, my hope is that leads to not being a me. But I think also because when there's a sense of me sitting here in the meetings, these meetings need a purpose. So it can't just be that they're nice and it's interesting. It has to be the goal of the meetings is eventually I'll have attended enough of them. And then, that whole sense will drop.
But that's the normal thing. Like me wants to have a goal to know when there's somebody going to the meeting. You do it for something to happen or not to happen or some goal. And hearing there's no agenda, that sounds very strange because most teachers, or when they're in meetings, they have some agenda like wanting to give a healing or that people feel better afterwards or more that they can understand finally or anything. It's not like there's nothing going on about that here. I don't know what's going on over there. It's nothing busy with that. There's just sitting here and there's some answering. Not even know where that's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's no, the thing is always that you think I'm here and I need to, there's somebody here in this body and I need to, there's something like maybe that's something that beliefs are there and they are falling away. It's a story. It's just a story. There's no William. That's a story. It's
Yeah,
a dream.
I think the other thing is, because obviously the me has this experience of moving through time, I think there's only a certain amount of time and I have to use it in a certain way. So that's why the purpose has to be added to meeting. Well, if I'm here, I'm using my time to be here instead of something else. To be honest, there's nothing better than non-duality at this point in my life, apparently. But, you know, so the purpose, I need to constantly invent this purpose. It's like, well, I'm using my time correctly. I'm using my time wisely. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time doing something that won't, lead to the...
But it's always the same story, of course, that all people have in some way some drive to go to somewhere, that's the most important of my life and doing that and thing. So when there's going to non-duality meetings, it's the same drive, of course. So that's what me knows, that drive to with in time and doing the best you can and listening well or things like that. That's what me knows. So that's what me does in also in non-duality meetings. So there's no difference. Of course, it's always that. Well, there's no, you can't do it differently. That's not wrong. That's just how it goes. But that's the frustration that you want to have it differently, but there's something else that's stronger than that. That's just doing like that, because that's life. That's the energy.
Yeah.
It's a circle. Yeah. So what? Nothing is happening. So then it's happening like that, or there's happening something else. What's the difference? I don't know.
I assume the difference is that the body would be more relaxed and the thinking would be more relaxed, because it's so tense, feeling like a me, and that circle you're talking about, like constantly grinding the wheels to get somewhere.
Yeah. But it's just when you talk about it, you name it and you have a story, you call it like that. And when there's just that feeling or a lot of thoughts coming, that can happen. It's just that, nothing more than that. It's not, because you give it a name and you see, oh, but the me is always busy. Come on, that's the story. There's just thoughts coming, feelings somewhere. That's it. It's much more simple. Not knowing how to call it, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's very simple. And that's it. That will never be different. It's just always like that. And there's a lot of, there can be stress. There can be stress. There was here stress with starting this morning, the meeting. I was like, I'm going like that. I don't know. But yeah, can happen.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Hi. In normal life, meeting other people, people generally, a lot of people take life very seriously. And if they tell you their problems, or they want you to take it seriously too.
Yeah.
And they can feel, I could feel insulted if there's something about you that doesn't have the same seriousness or as they are having. I mean, do you find that that could be a problem sometimes, that people get annoyed with you, that even though you may be saying the right words to them, to their problems, that there's something in you that doesn't quite see it as in such a serious way? Or do you
I don't
just
know.
no?
Can happen, or well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that can happen, but it's a lot of times everybody knows somewhere, so it's not about not taking it serious. It's not trying to help, something like that, to solve the problems or things like that. That's what's going on, and that.
Well, that could be useful to people who have a problem, that they see that you're listening.
Yeah,
just to be heard.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on about changing it or
No.
trying to solve or take care, or sometimes take care can happen, of course, but no. Yeah, so there's something, yeah, that can be, yeah, I don't know, that you can hear that there's something else going on, and that can be very like, oh, it's different. It's just listening without anything else.
Yeah.
Can be like that. Yeah, sure. I was with a man, and we were talking about nothing, about the metro or something like that. And he was working there, and he was saying, yeah, and I'm going to the metro. I hope it will be in time. I said, yeah. And then he looked at me and he said, you're my brother. You're my sister. You're And I thought, somewhere he heard. There was something, some sense of, some people are very sensitive about if you have something going on about this is right or this is not right or things like that. And there was nothing going on about it. And he sensed it. I felt it. And then he was going, and then it was gone. But I was like, oh, that was nice. But it was just, we were talking about nothing, but still can be there like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a chat. Wait. Oh, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, confusion and doubting sounds more like the story of me. Confusion. Well, there can be something. There can be something going on, like, shall I go to the shop? I don't know. Something like, it's not really, it's not important, but it's just can be like that. Those thoughts, and then. Maybe there's there's going and there's not, or there's not going, but there can be thoughts like that. But it's not a big deal. But not choosing something that will work, that's not so much going on. No. Maybe practical things more.
Rose, I've read your book and heard you talk, and you sometimes say that the underlying energy is love, but not just the regular human kind of love, which changes, like, it's kind of conditional. It's an unconditional love, like, a greater love.
But it's not underlying. It's everything is love.
Okay.
Everything is unconditional love, but not that personal love we normally talk about. It's more like taking care and need, things like that. with conditions, how to behave.
right.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that we don't usually think of conditional love as, let's say, morally good. It just when there's a judgment. But I think there's no one who would say that a totally unselfish love, like an unconditional love, that there's
Yeah.
anything wrong with that. This is interesting, right? We
Yeah,
don't.
but we don't know what is unconditional love, because that
Yeah.
can be any reaction. It's
Yeah.
just not in a certain way that you feel good or so.
No.
Because we think it's love when it feels good.
Right. But
No,
it doesn't.
that's personal.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting
Yeah.
that we have that as our highest ideal, right?
Highest idea.
Ideal.
That's ideal that you will feel, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's something, we have something about perfection, like this, we have some ideas or thoughts about how life is, how we are in basic we are, how we are. And there's some thoughts about that. And then there's, for example, unconditional love. And we think, oh, it's about a woman and a child or something like that. But it can be very easy. There are a lot of patterns going on about need and taking care, about relations. When there's a relation, when there's somebody there, me is the most important. That's just like that. It's just like that.
Yeah. But
everything goes around like the other, and then it's coming back to me.
But then we notice that we don't find that ideal either.
Which ideal you mean?
Well, now, like if the personal self comes back in and is like test, then our conscience also says, well, that's not the ideal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It always comes back to that. It's like our conscience is kind of like the needle of a compass. It always goes back to the ideal.
Yeah, that's how me works, that it wants to find the perfect heaven, I don't know, heaven, perfect natural state. Everybody calls it differently.
Right.
And you can't see this is it already.
Yeah. No, but what I find interesting is that it seems to be innate in everyone. They even found out that by very little children that already exists. It's like
they really exist.
Yeah, like the tiny little children, like almost like as soon as they can speak, if they have a test, like with really little children, they can speak and they show them, let's say, examples of lovelessness or even selfish love, right? And then something that is not that is unconditional love. And already little children can say, yeah, that is good. No, that is not good. And they haven't even learned anything yet. But it's like an innate compass where they feel what is right and what is not right. And anything that...
Yeah, but really little children already are is their separation. When there's suddenly, I think it's very young that there's a separation, and then it's just and then there's something going on about right and wrong.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is that I don't think it's anything, let's say, to keep judging. It's not anything bad to approve of unconditional love. It's okay, right?
Yeah, but there's only unconditional love.
Right.
But we think we know what's best.
Right.
And then everything is the best. There's no life has no hoe zeg je dat voor has no preferences. There's just life. There's eating a cow or I don't know, and anything. It's just like nature. It's also like that. It's just unconditional love. But we think love has something nice in it or something like that. And unconditional love has nothing to do with nice or happy.
No,
that's
right.
Something else. Yeah.
No, because if it was about being like that, let's say that unconditional love would exist because it is nice, and it would not exist if the experience is not nice, then it would be conditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love unconditional when it's nice, but when it's not nice, oh no, then I don't. Then it's so that's not it, right? Yeah. No, I just find it interesting that it's already in everyone. Someone has that, even though you can't really point it out. You can't say what it really is. But when you really come down to it, it's like, okay, everything that is altruistic, we agree with, we approve of, morally speaking, of what is egotistic, we don't. And that everyone has that somehow, unless you're a
No,
psychic.
it's not everyone has that.
Well,
It is everything. It's
okay,
not, you don't have unconditional love.
okay,
It's just, you can't have that. It's just everything.
yeah,
It is everything. The table, everything.
right,
That's the joy. It's just a table. It's just, and it's amazing. And sometimes it can be very strong, and most of the time it's more subtle, but it's just everything. So we are thinking, oh, I'm not in the right, I was always thinking, I'm not in the right place. I want to be over there. I want to be with those people. And this is not, but it's just everywhere. It's just that what's going, it can't be differently. It's
yeah.
already that.
Yeah, it's like, it's the energy, like everything is made of that somehow. Like that unconditional love is what science calls the energy that forms everything. But that is that unconditional love. It's like it's invested in itself, in forming.
Yeah, it's bursting. Everything is, that's life. Life is unconditional love. And then it's a way of calling it. You can also call it energy or silence, but it's bursting. It's everything is just aliveness. It's just like that, and not in a way that it has more, that it has to be very vital. When it's very low energy, that's also very much alive, but it's like, oh, like that's also unconditional love in that completeness. And that can, and we are so convinced it has to be a lot of energy or a lot of love or some way, some state. And oh my, it's just everything, but in such different ways. That's the joy. It's just, you can't find it, you can't look at it. It's just, you can't even call it something. Yeah, we call it unconditional love, but how can you make an image of that? You don't know what it is. But it's amazing.
Yeah, that's the ultimate reality, right? Yeah.
But it's also very simple, and it's not special at all. It's so normal. It's so close, even closer than you can tell. But it's so overlaid sometimes by all those abstractions and trying to relate and trying to call it something and trying to and even that, all those thoughts, all those patterns, it's the same. It's only unconditional love. So everybody, it's everybody is it. You could say that, but it's not only everybody. It's just everything. There are no borders.
Right.
So it's one soup.
Right.
It's one soup. It's one sea with everything.
Right. But if anyone would ask me, for example, okay, who are we really? I would say, well, ultimately unconditional, totally unselfish love. I guess you could say, you could say.
Yeah, but in the same time, that's the funny thing is, it's nothing is real. It's only energy, and we think everything is real and solid, and there's some events happening, and well, that's
so unconditional love is real, and everything else that doesn't seem to be that is not real.
No, love is also no,
unconditional.
You can't say it's real. Nothing is real.
No, but you're talking about that which everything that is formed of, the energy that forms everything. That is unconditional love, or totally altruistic, purely giving love. And everything that seems to be not to be that is an illusion, because in the sense only that love is the ultimate reality, and everything else that is not that might seem to be something else, but it's also that. It's also formed by that same love. So even like you just said, even if it's sadness or unhappiness, that still is an expression of that love. somehow. It's included in it.
Yeah, it is love, but we call it love, or you call it energy, or anything
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an appearance, huh? It's an appearance.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Well,
That's-
the love is real. That love is real. But all the appearances,
But
yeah,
not for
okay,
me.
they're just forms, right? They're forms of it. They're forms of it. And they might either like express it, like for example, if you hear of a fireman, you know, he goes into a house, and there's, you know, the mother says, "Oh, my baby's still in the house," right? And he goes up the ladder, but his commander says, "No, no, it's too dangerous. The house, look, you know, the house is going to fall down. You can't go, you can't go." And he goes anyway. Says, "Well, I'd risk my life." And he goes in there and he comes out alive with the baby. Oh, wow. Everybody loves that, right? Because that's an expression of that love. Well, if he would go, "Okay, yeah, no, I don't want, no, I'm not going to risk my life," but people think, well, that's not ideal, right? So we all love that love already. We all love it.
Yeah, it's a story. This is just a story. I'm talking about something else.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, but this is what is happening. This is what is the experience. Everyone experiences that.
But okay. But I'm talking about something else. That's it. I'm not talking about that kind of love.
No, but I'm just saying
It's something else.
this is just an expression of it. An
It's
expression.
not about experiences.
Form of it, right? It's a form.
No, but it's not. No, sorry. It's just something else. It's not. This is. I can hear you. It's your experience, and that's altruistic love or something. I don't know how to say it. But I'm talking about something else. That's you can't even. You say I say love, but maybe the word energy is more neutral, because it's just neutral.
Right, right. Well, let's see now, neutral. Well, neutral will say that it. Okay, we just talked about love before. You got very enthusiastic about it, right? You said everything is love, everything is love. But well, in Dutch there's a word onbaatzuchtig. It's this.
Yeah,
okay.
but that's something else. That's something else. I'm not talking about that. Yeah, I know. That's altruistic. I'm not talking about that. It's just something else. But you can't. It's just. That's why love is such a difficult word, because we have so many meaning of it, and I don't. It's just. It's not that. I'm not saying that kind of love. It's not. It's how can I say it? It's just energy. It's just neutral. It's just nothing, and there's nothing happening. Nothing is real. It's only an appearance.
Yeah.
Everything is just
I
an
think
appearance.
I understand what you mean. Like with the example I gave, I don't mean that is it, you know, but it is like, let's say it's like a pointer that it exists. That it exists. That is only a limited thing, but it's like a pointer that the fact that people applaud it means that they somehow feel, yeah, that point, that's a good pointer to the energy that you're talking about. That's an expression of that energy, not that is the thing. It's just a form of it, a form, an expression of it. That's all. It's not the thing itself. Right? Just like if I paint your portrait, that's not really you, but still it refers to you.
So I'm completely lost now. I can't follow it anymore. So please, it's okay. Let's stop. Yeah. And it's also the end of the meeting already. So
All right.
thank you, everybody. Thank you. Also, love. Thank you for coming.
Welcome.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye, everybody.